Lex Luthor, Morgan Snickeroom. So much soul about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. From these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike Reeboks, about to sock the knees. Golden Goose is on dude.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luthor, and none other than Morgan Snickeroom. Today, guys, we have a guest, none other than Darren, the founder and CEO of Capsole. What's new and how you feeling, my guy?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys opening me. Welcome ours, man. This is a great experience.
I like it.
We're definitely excited to have you on. So, you know, really, really exciting. We got the product a few weeks ago, and we've had some time to kind of play around with it and stuff like that. So we're really excited to have you on.
Yeah, man. I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. I mean, you guys are like my prime customers. I know you guys have extensive collections, so I want to see what you guys think about it.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts and probably like just seeing initial videos to actually seeing it in hand and like a difference of quality, like when you feel it versus like you see it like on a IG reel or something like that, or YouTube. Right. It's just, I feel like once people really see it in hand, it's like, okay, it feels like it's quality, you know?
It feels, I've got it. So for the fans on YouTube, I've got it behind me right there. So I'll keep it up there and then kind of be moving back and forth from it as we go.
Yeah, I like it. But before we get into it, Darren, give us some social handles. Give us some information to where the guys can find you and follow you.
Yeah. So my name is Darren Lee. I'm the founder of Capsole. You can find us on our IG handle at Capsole Store. You can find us on Capsole Store also on YouTube, and then Capsule Store on TikTok. And then our webpage is capsulestore.com.
I like it. First, we start off with what we wore today. Morgan, you want to go first?
Yeah, we could switch it up. It feels like we haven't recorded in a while, so
I wonder why.
Caitlin. That's all Caitlin's fault.
Nah, you good. It's all good.
Caitlin, I need backstory now.
Caitlin's my fiance. And she's like,
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We so I know we're doing What's on Feet, but we have our wedding shower tomorrow. Flex, I was supposed to get your Sunday. Flex, I was supposed to get your address, and I dropped the ball on that, but all good. If you can make it to Indianapolis by Sunday.
Got you.
But yeah, she's my fiance, and so yeah, we're having a good time. It's fun. Yeah. Anyway, so what I wore today was I was. That's crazy. That's crazy. What I wore today was the A6 and Bodega Gel NYC. I think it has something to do with Tokyo, but really, really cool sneaker. It's got like some hairy suede on it, this interesting mesh on the toe box. The Gel NYC is a pretty slept on pair. And this was one of the better pairs from Bodega last year, I think, is when it came out.
Are those as comfortable as like New Balances, or do you think they're more comfortable?
I'd put them on the same tier as New Balance for sure. Okay. Different models or different shoes are going to feel differently, I guess. But yeah, I would definitely put those in the same tier as a New Balance. Yeah,
I like it.
Would you wear, Flex?
So I've actually had this plan for a while. I knew what pair I was going to wear.
Oh, wait a minute! You got sneakers behind you.
Yeah, not in the new house yet. Just at
okay.
We're at a resting stop right now.
But
the pair that I wore today was the Do the Right Thing Retro 3s, released in 2007.
Oh, you're so smart. You're so smart.
I know.
You're so smart.
I thought this would be the perfect pair to try the product out on. Again, of course, I already had this plan. I had my outfit and everything ready for it. And I did not wear this hoodie, Morgan. I did not wear this hoodie. But yeah, so very intrigued and interested to see how it preserves the shoe, because I actually got these in a decent condition The only thing that's pretty much wrong with this pair is just cracking, no separation or any type of crumbling. So again, I wanted to use a pair that was old, but I also wanted to use a pair that was, you know, pretty much in a good condition to where it's not where I can do a real test, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that was what was on feet today. Do the right thing, retro 3s from 07.
Yeah.
Inside the capsule.
Nice.
Darren, what you wear today, man?
Man, it's like one of my favorite pair of shoes I bust out today. I want to spoon with Air Max. So yeah, I probably wore like 3 pairs of shoes because it's like 110 out here in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I'm using some sandals, but then I threw these on when I went to the store, and then threw some other shoes on when I went to the gym. So just had like a nice little day, good rotation. But those are like probably my all-time favorite top 2 or 3 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
And just like the only thing is, man, is like the material on these just like it just fades over time. So like I wish I would have had this product earlier when I wish I would have got these shoes when they first released, had the product, because one of the things that, you know, we talk about, but just the whole oxidation and hydrolysis, people think it's just crumbling, but like also like the suede, the leather, all that stuff kind of like fades or cracks. You know, I would have loved to test this to see how well it kind of preserves these and keeps the color and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Did you get any compliments like in the wild with those on today?
No, not today. Not today. I usually do though. Usually I do.
Yeah.
I just went to the grocery store, so I was like a lot of old ladies, and you know.
It's interesting. It's like nobody really sees that sneaker as like when people are talking about like, you know, fire sneakers or like grails or whatever, like that shoe is not coming up anymore. And like I have the same pair and it's like I'm still kind of like nervous to wear it. Like I've worn them before, but I just never hear people talking about like that sneaker, the 97 ones. But that sneaker, it meant so much. Like when it came out, it was like that was a moment for sure. Right. So this is a great pair, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like he should go back to, if he could go back to Nike and maybe drop some more Air Maxes or something. I love Air Maxes because like they're just comfortable, stylish, and you know, like functional. So like I just you know, especially as I get older, you know, I feel like the comfort, it like starts to weigh a little bit more and more.
Yeah, 100%. So Darren, you know, let's talk about the product. We want to talk about you, but first let's talk about the product. Tell us about Capsole. I know Flex, he had his pair of shoes in his bag. What do you, a capsule, I guess? And I've got mine behind me. Tell us a little bit about the product.
Yeah, so it's basically, like you said, it's a bag. We call it a pod, but it's combined with what we call anti-aging preservative. So what this does is it basically keeps the oxygen and moisture from coming inside, and then it removes any oxygen and moisture inside of the actual bag. So if you think about like if you were to actually seal it in a Ziploc bag, there's still like air and oxygen inside, right? And then like a Ziploc bag, there's this thing called permeability. I don't want to get too nerdy with the science and everything, but it's basically how well it maintains or the oxygen moisture from coming inside. So like the typical plastic bag is not that great. So our bags are layered with multiple materials to insulate and like shield from like UV light, and then also prevent the oxygen and moisture from coming inside. Yeah. So all the things you don't want your shoes to be in contact with if you're not wearing them.
So I know you sent us some, and I believe maybe it's on your Instagram or your website, but you've done the tests with your product, with the pods. You've done the tests with the vacuum seal, right? You've done the test with the bag. Tell us specifically what makes your product different.
Yeah, so I would say like probably the biggest thing is probably the preservative we put in there. So like what it does is like once you seal your shoes inside, it removes like any oxygen and moisture inside and replaces it with that preservative. Right. So then your shoes are like, basically, if you think about it, you don't want your shoes to come in contact with oxygen, moisture, or like the outside environment, right? That's what causes your shoes to mold, crumble, yellow, fall apart, all those things. So a typical, like I said, a vacuum seal bag or a Ziploc bag doesn't do that because, for one, like a Ziploc bag, it doesn't pull out or doesn't push out the air inside. And then also, like I said, the material is it's like a cheaper material, and so it doesn't prevent the oxygen moisture from coming in. So the oxygen moisture is going to come in over time. And then for for the vacuum seal bag, like I had a really I asked the guy who we hired to like make this product for me. It's like, why doesn't a vacuum seal bag work? And we kind of researched it and came across this article, and basically like there's like these little polymers you put in your shoes, and so they're kind of free moving. So when you do like a vacuum, you pull them to the surface. Yeah. So you're kind of pulling them out of your midsole, so it can cause them to actually get like oily, yellow, crumpled faster. So like that's why like a vacuum seal bag is not really like recommended. Yeah. And ours is different because we don't suck. It's like purge. So we basically inflate the bag, and so and then it pushes out all the oxygen moisture, kind of like a air mattress. Yeah.
I like it. Go ahead.
I was going to say the product is high quality. Like I will, right off the bat, when I opened it and I saw what it was, I was like, this product is high quality. I mean, you gave the science behind it. Like it's on the website. It's on your socials. So really, really high quality product.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure, like, if somebody brought a product to me, I didn't want to make sure it was just like some white label Ziploc bag with the logo on it. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think I've seen that before with other companies trying to do that. And like, I really wanted it to be like backed by science, but also feel high quality. So like that whole process, man, is just like designing and making a product was like a 2-year process. It was like, it took a while to kind of actually get prototypes made and test it and just figure out how to actually like make something. Cause like it was like, there's no comparable item to say, hey, make it like this. So it was kind of like we had to create something from scratch and use kind of products that are already on the market and then find someone to actually do it for us, which was challenging.
Yeah. Yeah, just to piggyback on what Morgan said, I mean, presentation, A+, man. When I open up the package and I see, your branding, and it's a high quality box that's inside of, then you got the dust bag that's inside of, and then the preservatives in another bag itself. And then it's just got that futuristic feel about it. When you hear the hissing sound and you hear it feels like you're doing something from the future because you're twisting this song, you're preserving your shoe because you're thinking about, I'm preserving my shoe. I'm gonna get to show it and keep it years on down the line. And I feel like this is a good product, especially in this time, because vintage collecting is on the rise. Like a lot of people are getting back into the vintage basketball. I mean, shout out to Uncle Schooler, man. I mean, Schooler's doing his thing. So he's getting a lot of people into that vintage collecting. And, right now people are not really looking for the current releases. Everybody's kind of trying to go back, go back 10 years. And right now I got these boxes over here and my black and white boxes that are coming up on 10 years or 10 years plus. So this product is pretty crucial right now, especially to the ones that's been collecting for a while.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So Darren, what's your background in, man?
Man, I'm actually an attorney, man. I'm a lawyer.
Interesting. Okay.
That
is very interesting.
But like I hooped growing up, right? So like I played basketball, the high school, college. I was good enough to get a scholarship. So like I think like that was like the biggest thing for me is like as far as like sneakers is like, man, I would always be like had Jordan. My school colors were white and red and black and red. So I'd be like lacing the Jordan 12 flu games, the cherries, the Jordan 11s. Like I would just the Jordan 14s. Like I just loved I loved how the shoes make you feel. I just fell in love with that like from a young age. And so I just wanted to create something that really could extend the life of your shoes, man. Because I've had shoes crumble on me and fall apart on me and just completely yellow on me. And I don't know how old you guys are, but like back in the day, man, there wasn't all these different like people to do sole swaps and to de-ice your shoes. Like it wasn't no Jason Mark, there wasn't no Rejuvenator. It was really like Payless and like Dawn soap, like, you know what I mean, and toothbrush. Like,
Yeah.
Where'd you play college ball at?
So I started at San Jose State in California, and then I went to Division II called St. Mary's in San Antonio, Texas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's the San Antonio State. That's the San Jose State. That's the Trojans, right?
Yeah.
Blue and gold. Spartans. Yeah.
Spartan.
Blue and gold. I got you.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we're part of the WAC. The WAC, the WAC.
Yeah.
I don't think it's around anymore.
Yeah. I think Jeff Garcia went there, maybe. I think maybe Jeff Garcia went there.
I think so. James Jones went there too. I don't know if you
he played for the Pacers.
Packers.
Oh man,
player.
I'm thinking basketball player he was a GM of the Suns. James Jones. I'm with you now. He played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
3-point shooter.
Yeah, well, he played for the Packers when Aaron Rodgers was there.
And then he went to the Raiders after that, right? Yep, I'm with you. You wore the hoodie.
Exactly.
But so my question, man, is, and this is the tough thing, because everything with sneakers is getting so expensive, right? Like, like you said, we've got the sole swappers, we've got the customizers, we've got the drop front boxes, right? Yeah. What makes Capsole a necessary item for sneakerheads to have, where maybe it's like, you know, if they're budgeting, they got to get the sneakers, they got to get whatever. What makes Capsole, you know, the thing that sneakerheads need to budget around?
Yeah, man, I think it goes to Flex's point earlier. It's like we all want to make our sneakers last longer, and like you want to be able to have that sneakers 10, 20 years, 30 years down the line. Like, and you want it to be in good condition. And so, you know, it's probably not for an everyday shoe. I'll just be honest with you. I don't use it for my everyday shoes. I don't use it for, you know, my Air Maxes I wear to the gym. But like for my grails, and then like, and most of our customers, they start with their grails, and then what they do is they usually start to buy it for more of their larger collection. And so the way I kind of tell people to think about it, man, is like, if you have 20 to 30 pair, which most people do, they have more than that. So if you have 30 pair, you're wearing one a month. So you're wearing that shoe, say 12 times a year. So like 350 days out of the year, you're not wearing that shoe.
Right.
And so it's like, you know, you kind of think about that, and if you shoot, you know, you want to get as much wear and much use out of the shoe. So it's like, protect your shoes when you're not wearing them, and then just put them on, rock them, and then put them back. So like, that's why I think it's going to be a necessity. I think when people see the quality of product and we start building the brand out more and more, and people trust us, they're really going to start making this a part of their everyday rotation of like, hey, I get a shoe that I really care about, want to hold on to for a lot longer, then I'm gonna get Capsule. Yeah.
Because one thing I noticed, because I'm a big sneaker box guy, like I keep all my sneaker boxes, and I've got drop front boxes, as you can see behind me, but the Capsule product, it fits inside the sneaker box, right? Like that was one of the things that was important to me, where I could put the sneakers in the shoe, do all the science and magic, you know, put it in the sneaker box, and it still fits. So I think that is a big plus for Capsule. So I think that's great. What do you do? Sneaker boxes, or do you have the drop front boxes?
I do sneaker boxes, man. I did some research before I even created the product, and like, I think it's like 70% of sneakerheads use sneaker boxes. Like, they don't, like, not as many people use drop front containers, because one, it takes too much space. Right. Like, if you don't have like a whole room, and then if you want to keep your boxes, then you have to store your boxes and your drop front containers. So it gets, so like, you know, for me, man, I have like a kid, I got another kid on the way, I got my wife, like, I don't have any room to be doing all that. So I keep them in my boxes in my closet, and I store them in Capsule. So like, that's my routine.
That's your storage method.
Yes.
How many shoes do you have in a capsule right now? Do you have all of them, or is it like
Probably like 30 to 35. I have probably like 70, 75 pairs of shoes, and then like probably like half of them, 30, 35 pairs.
That's awesome.
Are in there. Yeah,
That's awesome.
So I
like it.
And part of it is just like I want to see how different shoes do with my product too. So
yeah,
I'm my own guinea pig, but
yeah,
it's like all my shoes still look good, and Yeah.
So with the current state of the sneaker game and the sneaker culture, we're seeing a lot of people kind of, step out and, get into other types of communities and other type of content. So as 2 or 3 years ago, the spotlight was on sneakers and everybody was doing sneakers, everybody making sneaker content, sneaker products, stickers, everything. So with the current state, it's not as popular. So what are you seeing that through like your product and sales and exposure, or what are you doing to preserve your product? Because this is a dry spell, but we're definitely going to hit, we're going to hit another wave of hype.
It's funny, man, because I started in dry spell, so I don't know what it was like when it was good. I started selling like 8 months ago. So I started 2023. We did like a Kickstarter in like I think it was like May or June of 2023. So the sneaker market really was kind of on decline already. So I don't know what it's like to sell in a good in a great market, but for me, it's really just trying to add as much value as possible. Just trying to see what people want. Just some I feel like when I first started this, I was like, okay, people don't want their shoes to yellow, but that's not really as a big of a problem, right? A lot of times the newer, Off-White, the Travis Scotts, they come already, aged and kind of yellow. Yeah. So most people, they want their sneakers to last longer. They want crumbling sole separation. And then I think also the other big selling point is preserving the leather and the suede and the nubuck from, keeping its integrity and holding on to that longer. So I think just listening to people, trying to build a community is the bigger thing. It's I try to if people have questions to me, I try to reach back out to them, try to answer questions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Sometimes packages, guys hey man, my package isn't here. I'm like, no worries, bro. I'll send you a new one. I'll send you a new one. I'll work it out UPS or USPS. So I just want to build a community where people they trust the brand, they trust the product, they trust me. And so that's really what I'm trying to do. Because I think at the end of the day, I think a lot of companies have forgot that it's really about just building a community, man. It's really just about, giving more than you ask for, So that's just what I'm trying to do, man. And I think when people first hear that, they're just like, well, yeah, it's good, man. We'll see. So I just try to live up to what I promised, man. That's easier to put it.
I love that, man. You're speaking my language, man. All about, underselling and over delivering, right? Yeah. Building that relationship with the client. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a large collection like mine's,
ours.
I've heard you have, how many pairs do you have? 'Cause I listened to one of your guys' episodes. It was what?
How many do you have, Flex? Flex, how many do you have?
I'm right at 373.
That's crazy. I've got 660 something. So
that is insane.
I've got a lot.
With a large collection like ours,
right.
I've learned to be particular about what I buy now, because you got your drop front boxes, you got your resale prices. So I'm particular about what I would invest my money in when it comes to a product. So it's good to hear when the founder or CEO is talking to you directly, because that means, okay, if not only am I buying the product, but I'm also buying from someone that's invested and passionate about the product, and that means a lot. We talked to Mo from Unbox App, and he talks about how he sold his collection to start the company. That was a big thing for me. Oh wow, that you know, that means a lot. And you talking about you putting your own pairs in the product, you know, if the product doesn't work, then that means your shoes are going to mess up, you know what I'm saying? So you're taking that risk, and that, like I said, it means a lot, because we got a lot of brands out here that push out products and they're not worth it, you know, and they never know until we say like, hey, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And they already got this big, you know, rollout, and there's tons of pairs that's already around. I mean, you know, so that, you know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're very invested in your product, and you're talking about researching things. I mean, I want to know, where do you find the time, man? Because if you seem like you're very into this, but you're also a lawyer. You know, I don't know what that entitles or what it, you know, includes, but yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard. It's part of the reason why it took me a long time to create the product is because I couldn't really move as fast as I wanted to, because I had a lot going on. Mm-hmm. And then but for the most part, I tend to, I'll hire people for stuff. So like when I say I created a product, I was like, hey, I wanted to do this and this and that. And I want it to look like this from a design and like a functionality standpoint. But like I had someone who was like a specialist in like from a scientific background, like create the product. And so for me, it's really like, it's like my second job, right? I work my full-time job, and then, you know, I wake up early in the morning to answer emails, to kind of set things up for the day. And then after work, I go deliver all my orders. So I'll package them all up and then go to USPS or UPS and drop them off. And so that's just like an ongoing thing. And, you know, I have some people that help me. They'll help me if I have like sometimes I'll get like a large bundle of orders come in, and I'll have people help me. But for the most part, I try to just streamline things. So like, any apps that can help me like create content faster, post content. I just got this one app called Metricool, which helps you schedule all your content. So like that's been a huge time saver. And so just little things like that, man. It's just, but it's at the end of the day, it's a lot of long days too. It's a lot of long days, long nights.
Yeah, man, trust me. Like, but it shows that you believe in the product you have. I think one of the things that Flex was kind of alluding to earlier was that we've seen a lot of people get into the sneaker space as entrepreneurs, and they've seen us as people to capitalize on, but they're not really a part of that space. Like, I feel like with what you're describing, essentially having two jobs. I imagine when you decided you were going to go to law school, you weren't thinking that you would have to have two jobs, right? Like,
I wasn't. Yeah, no, I was not thinking that, man. I was not thinking that at all.
Yeah, right. My degree's in biology, and when I got my degree, I was like, yeah, having two jobs doesn't seem like it. You know, that's for the past, but loving what you do, I'm sure it doesn't even feel like a job.
Oh, it's so rewarding, man. It's like when I first started, one of the hardest things was me kind of creating content like about the product, like using myself. Mm-hmm. I never really wanted to be like an influencer or even be the brand ambassador, but when it's your company, like, you know, it's either like you have to pay someone a lot of money or you got to do it yourself. So I was like, I got to do it myself. And like, I remember, man, just getting those like negative comments first, like, oh, like blue cap this, like, oh, you didn't do any testing. And like, you know, it's people, they never went to the website and never looked at, you know, the kind of information I presented. Yeah. But then the most rewarding thing is like when a customer was like, hey man, I really appreciate it. Like you explaining this product to me. Like I love the product. And like just hearing that like changed my, like, it changed something in me. Cause I was like, man, this is great. Cause like really like people love the product and they like it. Like it's, you know what I mean? And like, I think at first I'm just like, are people gonna like this? Are they gonna want this? Like, and, you know, you try to build everything to the product where it's like, I would like it, so I think they'll like it. So you're just hoping that they like it. And I think I got more confidence as time went on just to really put my best foot forward and really present the product now. So when I'm talking about it, I have way more confidence about it. And just knowing that I have like over, you know, a couple hundred customers that are supporting me, that love the product with me. And it's like, hey, it's not just me, but there's other people that love this product too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
nah. I feel that. I mean, I feel like me and Morgan experienced the same thing. You know, creating our content, and doing this podcast, man. It is rewarding when we get to sit down with people like you and talk about products, and we get a detailed and insightful look at the product. Because, I mean, we see the products, we see the reels, we see the promotions and stuff, but it's nothing like this. It's nothing like sitting down and actually having this conversation. And because you're looking at this video, you can comment, but I mean, do you have the time to comment what you just said? Probably not. So
Right.
it's rewarding when you get to explain this, because we're just looking at the product, and there's a lot of things that's going through our mind. But just from having this conversation with you, my outlook on the product has changed. Just because I know how much you've put into it, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, seeing the product on Instagram and then actually seeing the product in person, it's the same, but it's different. Because like I said, you open up this is a high quality product. You know, it looks cool on Instagram, but it's way cooler in hand. You know, once you get like I said, it's like you know you're preserving something. It feels cool because you're turning this, you're twisting this, you're putting air in, you're inflating this, and then next thing you know, your shoes are in the capsule. So I think that's pretty dope.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, when I first saw the product, I mean, I gotta admit to my first thing, the same question I asked you, right? Like, where does this, like, what do we do? Like, where does this fit in the budget, right? With, you know, sneaker prices being the way they are, you know, space is always an issue. Where does this fit? And just like hearing what you're saying about the product, like I'm kind of sold on it now, because now I'm thinking like, okay, boom. People aren't using it for all of their sneakers, right? Because I always think about it like this, like, okay, it's 660 times, you know, whatever the product, whatever the cost of the product is. I mean, that's part of the reason I'm not all the way into the drop front boxes, because it's like, okay, 660 times that. But, you know, when he started talking about, no, you're just using it for the grails and the shoes that you don't want to crumble and the shoes that you want to preserve the most, like, that makes more sense to me. And I think that it's a great product to have, because I mean, I can think of some sneakers I wish that I had the product for. I've got a pair of 06 royal blue foam posits that they are on their last days, and well, they're beyond their last days, and I wish I had a capsule for them. So yeah.
I like it. So, like I have my specific pair, my Do the Right Things Retro 3s. And as Morgan said, like I got a collection that's, you know, turning age. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's turning age. I start collecting, really digging into it late 2012. So I'm already hitting that 10-year mark, and I got a lot of, you know, shoes that are Asian, and just kind of I had the same fight and tug with the drop front boxes, because honestly I was thinking, like, I love my boxes, so what am I using them for? But once I started, you know, buying aftermarket, I realized that there was room for it, because there are pairs that I can get with no box that the price drastically changes, you know. So I'm like, okay, I can do it for that. And now, same thing with the capsule. So I can get a vintage pair with no box, but I can put it in the capsule. I can put it in the pod and preserve it. So it's once you have these conversations, you get a better insight of what the product is, you know. So like I said, it's rewarding. Just sitting down, you know, talking with you, and you explain the product and how it works.
Right.
How often do you get to actually do one-on-ones or with clients or with customers? How often do you get to talk to them directly?
Like being
outside of constant, this, you know, anytime you just get to, whether it be like a focus group or anything like that, anything where you get to actually answer questions like this.
I would say probably like 3 or 4 times a year, like in person. But we usually send. So I'll go to like a sneaker con. Like I went to Capsole last month, and we had a booth, and we had like a little basketball hoop people like shoot, and they could get like a 25% off or whatever. But usually at those events is where I interact with people. I'm able to like see them face to face, and then via email, people are always asking questions, and I'm providing answers to them. So those are like the main two ways that I reach out to people. I'll say via email because they reach out for questions. And then I think what I'm going to try to start doing is doing more forward-facing content where I'm just talking so people know about me, the company, and just the product itself. So I think that's going to be beneficial as well. So people will get a name to the face. Yeah.
What I've noticed is that, especially on social media, people right off the bat, as you talked about earlier, they're skeptics, right? Yeah. And unless you can have that conversation with them and say, okay, we've cut through all the jokes and everything and all the BS. This is why you need my product, right? Right. I feel like that can just probably, as you see at Got Soul and SneakerCon, like that probably goes a long way to getting new customers and retaining customers.
Yeah. And that, man, what's funny is I spent like 4 hours one day just going through like my IG comments and just commenting back to people and like writing out like paragraph long answers to their questions. Cause it's like, they're like, hey, like how many times do I need to use it? Like, do I need to use it once? And I'm like, hey, you only need to use it when you break the seal. So every time you take a shoe out. So I'll write these detail kind of, cause I know everyone else will see it in the feed. Yeah. But surprisingly people appreciate that as well too. But I agree with you 100% is getting face to face as much as possible. It's definitely, I want to start building like, an ambassador program with influencers and stuff. And then having like a get together every year or every like couple months where we all get together and just like have a pool party and talk about the latest shoes dropping and just kick it and just talk about what's going on in the industry or something. So like, we're trying to put some stuff like that together, I think eventually, but it just takes time.
Yeah. Flex, any ambassadors, Flex? I can think of two.
No, for real. But I lost Morgan, made me lose my whole train of thought. No, but you spoke about reusing the product. I can't believe I forgot that question. But give us more detail on reusing the product. Like, can we reuse it once we break the seal? Well, once we take the shoe out and wear it and put it back in, how does that work?
Yeah, so it's you can reuse the product. So basically, you put your shoe in, you fill it with the preservative. You don't have to do anything after that. You could just put it away in your box, share it from a container. You don't do anything else until you actually break the seal. You take it out and you wear it. And then so like when I personally do it, like for my shoes, if I'm gonna wear the shoe for like a couple of days, then I'm not gonna put it right back in there. So like usually I'll like, if like my Sean Witherspoons I just broke out, like I'll wear those for the next couple of days, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put these away for a while. I'm probably not gonna wear them. So then I put them away and I use my cartridge, and so each cartridge gives you 2 to 3 fills depending on the size of the bag. But you get 2 to 3 fills, so you can fill the bag twice with one cartridge.
Oh, so I didn't know that. So I used the whole fill for the one. So I had one cartridge and I used it for the whole one.
Flex can't read. You have to excuse Flex. He can't read. He was sounding out the words. He still reads with his finger going across the words. So
it's one of those things, man. You use it for the first time, you're like, oh, this is cool, or you just kind of keep doing it, and then you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna get all the air out. I'm trying to get all of this out.
Yeah. So I just kept it till I heard nothing else. I was just filling that thing all the way up. I'm like getting all that bad air out.
Yeah, Flex. Hey, good. Flex makes a mistake, so we don't have to.
Hey, trial and error. That's how you grow.
Trial and error. Exactly. Trial and error.
But before we get into the showcase, I would like to, if possible, what's future plans? Future plans of Capsole? Are we got any more products? Anything? Little sneak peek.
Oh man, nothing. No new products as of now. I've I thought about doing a drop front container. Like that was initially like there was two products. So there was going to be this product and there's going to be a drop front container. And it just got really expensive because I'm like, I don't have anyone backing me. I don't have any VC funding, investors. So like it got really expensive when you're trying to like build a product and get minimum quantities, stuff like that. So I ended up putting that on the back shelf. And I think that price point is going to be really high just because to really make it airtight, it has to be like one piece. So like if you think about like the current ones, they kind of come folded and they put them together. But if you want to make it airtight, you have to make it one piece and then have like a gasket like on door to make it airtight. So I don't know, man. I've been playing with the thought, but right now we're just going to stick with this product and try to grow. So the biggest thing for us is just growing the brand right now. It's really, building out our ambassador programs. I just brought another guy on. He's CMO, so he's like our marketing officer. So he's helping me kind of grow the brand and really just put more content out there. When I looked at like Rejuvenator and Crep and like like these companies, like it's funny because they're not product companies. They're really like media companies selling product. So if you go like Rejuvenator's like they're down the street from me. So like they're like 15, 20 minutes from where I live. So like when I went there, it's like, oh, what does he do? Like, oh, they do videography. Oh, they do editing. Oh, they run the ads. So it's like they have like 20 people that all they do is marketing. Right. Yeah. Like after a product is built, like there's not really too much to do after that. Right. You have changes here and there. But for the most part, man, these companies, man, they're just marketing machines. And and so, it's really just trying to wrap my head around how to build that because I don't come from that world. So it's fun, it's interesting. And it's just trying to bring on good people that can help me grow the brand and that love the product is really where I'm trying to focus right now.
Yeah. I like it. I noticed once we started following you, kind of had a change in how you were managing your profile, your Instagram profile. I seen you kind of go like through a name change and then back, and then I seen how you were like promoting stuff. I was like, because I know we were in talks, and then you kind of went ghost on us, and I was like, oh, I hope nothing didn't happen. I hope nothing didn't go wrong. So I just seen you rebranding.
That was like. I'll tell you what really happened, right? So I have made this post about like the biggest like I think it was like Columbia had like the biggest like fake sneakers. You guys see that post come out? It was like a little post of like if you want to get fake sneakers, it was like Columbia, this is where you go. And it was just like somebody filming like going through there. So I just like, oh, this is cool, this is interesting. And then I just posted, and then they actually banned my Instagram. Of course. Instagram. They're like, you're selling. I was like, I'm not selling. I just put this, like, I don't even sell sneakers. Like, so it took me like a week or 2 weeks to get back my profile. And then the one when I changed it, I was trying to get the blue check mark. So like they told me the only way to get a blue check mark is it has to be like your personal. You can't do it in business. So like I switched it to a personal, and I was like, I kept like, hey, when you guys give me this blue check mark or whatever, and then they never gave it to me. So I was like, F this, I'm just going to go back to I was just trying to get that blue check mark, man. And I thought it was just more like trying to build a brand and trying to get, so if people saw me, they take me more serious, like, cause I have a blue check mark, but
yeah. I don't know what Instagram has going on with the whole fake buying shoes, because what's his name? Wave Runner 500. It's the black guy that has all the fakes. And he's
that's not on my algorithm.
Yeah, bro. His name is Surf Wave Surf Tsunami Wave Surf, something like that. And he got like 200,000 followers, and he's constantly talking about fakes. And he has not got banned, but like Dre Shoe Guy, his page just recently got suspended. I mean, I think it's just so weird. It's funny how Instagram works. Yeah, especially when it comes to stuff like that.
It's really it's like their AI, man. It's like no one even reviews it. It's just like the AI is like, hey, flag this, you're banned. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
But we rely on them so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's their world. We just work here.
Right.
Literally. We're just working on Instagram, posting stuff and posting reels, just hoping they don't ban us, and that's how it is,
So I mean, we're at that part of we're at the part of the episode where we show the showcase shoe. So just a random pair of sneakers in our collection that we think needs to be shown to the public. Flex, I'll let you go first on this one.
So I just got these in a couple weeks ago. The Shadow 6000 Ace Fight.
You in the Saucony now?
What?
You in the Saucony now?
I've been on it.
Since when?
But insole is nice. Nice laces. Just a well put together shoe. And I'm gonna be honest, I seen what J Tip was doing, and he had the Paris Week reveal, and the post was going crazy. People reposting it, doing everything, everybody sharing, all the content creators, hey, J Tip just dropped, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've been here before. I know hype when I see hype. I see that train coming a mile away.
It's coming.
And I know this pair is gonna be one of those pairs that's gonna be like, oh, I could have got those for $60, but now they're $600. So I'm like, you know what? That's not gonna be me this time around. So I went ahead and got these. Also, I'm looking at the what is it? Full Fight. I'm looking at that. Yeah, I'm looking at that pair right now. Yeah, I see the potential. But just going back to this shoe in general, it deserves a showcase just because of the details, the design, and then I just love that bottom part, that moon crater. Nice.
You gotta go through a deep dive on every shoe that's on that sneaker. Have you done it yet?
No, you remember that's what we was gonna do, but then you counseled on me for like 2 recordings. But
you gotta
look, he just showing up so he don't get fired.
Look, I told Caitlin, I said we recording 2 times this weekend. Don't get in the way of it. That's what I said.
Nah, man, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for y'all planning for y'all with it, man. I'm like, what's the coach that just went viral? He's gonna fire anybody that misses a recital or a football game.
Yeah, I see what you. Yeah, I thought that was really smooth. I thought that was smooth.
Oh, yeah.
What I wore, so these actually just re-released today. But
today?
Yeah, they re-released today.
Yeah.
Where?
So,
Nike.
on Nike. So, do you know what these are? Flex don't know what they are.
I don't.
Safari.
That's why they're that's why it's showcase shoe.
This is the Nike Air Safari.
Is it a golf shoe?
No, it's a shoe. It's like a running shoe.
Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan.
It's okay. You don't have to be a fan, but
I see them. They released launch ended. I guess they're sold out.
Yeah. So, Nike Air Safari, I think that they just retroed for the second time, like in this iteration. But yeah, super cool shoe. I think the shoe dropped in like 2018. Yeah, 2018. So Nike Air Safari, great sneaker. Yeah.
What's the point of them though? Like they sound like they're special. Like it's like the design just looks so. I don't know. It has.
Can you see? It's got the safari print along the toe and on the back.
Yeah, I see that part. I'm talking about like the design. Like if you look at the midsole and just the overall shape of the shoe, it's like there's like a special running shoe.
No, just like a base.
It's like a cross between an Air Max 1 and like.
It's like there's something special about it. You just don't know.
Like a waffle or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like it does have the waffle bottom. But I think this might, man, you're gonna make me lie on this podcast, but this might be like where they first got that safari print, right? That they use on the Atmos and stuff like that. If it's not, I'm sorry, we're about to go viral for the wrong reasons again.
I don't know. Nike's not really giving me. They're just, Tinker Hatfield changing the game. Fashion, been a bad word. First released in 87 or 97.
No, it's 87. It's an 87 shoe.
87.
Yeah.
Safari.
Yep.
Wow, I even think they were like doing safari shoes back in 87.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No.
Yep. All right, Darren, what you got for us, man?
Yeah, man. So this is the shoe that kind of really got me into the game, man. So
there it is.
Man. So these are the 2019. So these aren't the newest ones that came out. But I like the nubuck a little bit better than the leather. But like, this was the shoe, man. That like, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, man, that's just like the best looking shoe I've ever seen. So like, this is probably like my favorite shoe of all time. And when I was able to get this, when I got this, I bought this, I think, 2021.
Yeah.
So I was like able to get it 2021. And then like growing up, I was like, my parents, they wouldn't buy me Jordans until like I started kind of working a little bit and I could like afford it. So
yeah.
And like my mom, we used to go like clean houses and stuff like that, and I would just save my money and get some J's, man. That was like, so I just like remember this was always a pair that I wanted to get, and so yeah, this is a special pair for me. I don't know.
That's awesome. That's a great pair.
Yeah,
I like it. The reason why I missed out on those in the 2019, I'm just not a fan of the nubuck and suede. I hate it. And back then, in years prior, we didn't have the new, was it the protection, the suede protector where you can spray and the liquid rolls off. Right. That was not a thing. So like, it would have been a thing, I definitely would have grabbed them. But I'm still not gonna get them. I'm probably gonna go for the leather one. I'm a bigger fan of the leather pair. I think that. But for nostalgia reasons, I'll get them when they release again because I know they're gonna release again.
Were you hooping? Because you said your high school colors were black and red and white and red.
Yeah.
Were you hooping in the fours?
No, I hooped in. I had the 11s, the 14s, and the 12s. Those are like the main shoes I hooped in. But then I also I used to hoop in the KGs. Like I like the KGs were like a comfortable shoe to hoop in.
Yeah.
Trying to think. What other shoes I was hooping in? I think I had the Jordan 18s, the ones with like the little buckle at the top.
Yeah.
So, but it's so funny, man. Like at all hoop shoes, like the ones that I kind of had the hardest time wearing was like LeBrons. They just felt so heavy on me.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to, but like now, if I had to hoop in any shoe, probably the Kobe's are like probably. I think those shoes are probably the best shoes to actually hoop in. Just from like that's like, I haven't worn hoop shoes in like 10 years, 15 years. Like,
yeah.
Because I know if I go back out there, I'm like tear Achilles.
The ACL. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming, bro. It's coming.
Yeah.
Like I still got it, and I don't.
Yeah. What brand is San Jose State sponsored by?
They were Nike at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, they were Nike at the time, but it was like a lot of team. It was like the team Nike shoes.
Oh, like a hyper dunk. You would get like a blue and gold hyper dunk or something like that.
Exactly.
So you got some PEs, some player exclusives, or no?
I went on to San Jose State didn't have it like that. I wish though.
My man got some PEs back there.
We weren't winning like that.
No, but I do. I watched your video and you had the bread fours. Where do you get the pairs are like the crumbled pairs or the over yellowed pairs? Like, do you buy those or?
I bought a few of them, and then just like friends of mine like that collect. I'll just be like, hey man, like what do you have in your collection? I just want to be able to show people what could happen and what because obviously it's like people are like, oh, you need to have the shoe for you got to test this for 20 years. So it was like, no, we tested it, man. We didn't test it that way. We tested it through these machines. So like, we know it works.
Yeah. I imagine that there are lab machines that can simulate 20 years of aging and oxidation on a sneaker. I feel like that's pretty standard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They use it for like one of the things they use for like power lines, like, your power lines. So they want to see how well that's in like hot weather, like Arizona versus like cold weather, like, Detroit or something, right? Or humid weather like Miami. So you could kind of change the weather within these machines and rotate the different cycles. So that's exactly what we did, just to accelerate kind of like the exposure like a normal shoe would get over years.
So with the heat out there in Arizona, do you have a lot of problems with separation of your shoes?
So I've lived out here for like 9 years now. So like, no, I haven't had many issues because it's really only hot 3 months out of the year, 3-4 months out of the year. And then the other 8-9 months is like 70 degrees, 60, 70 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really nice, right?
Yeah. And it's dry too. It's like a dry heat.
It's like a dry heat, so it's not as bad. And then for the most part, but if you go outside, man, and I'm not the type of person, like I'm not outside. I'm in the car to to the gym, to the wherever I need to go. But yeah, man, like you can't walk your dog like right now because it's so hot. Like it's like 30 degrees on pavement or something like that. So it's like so. I imagine if you put your shoes out there for too long, they're probably gonna get cooked.
I mean, right now we're having record days in North Carolina as far as heat, and I'd rather have dry heat because we have humid heat, and it literally feels like you're suffocating. Like it literally feels like you walk outside, it's like it's like you can barely, it's very uncomfortable. It's like like I said, it's literally like it feels like you're suffocating, and we're reaching 110 and it's humid heat. It's just
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's like so it's rough. It's definitely rough. So
my wife is pregnant right now, man. So like. Ooh. This heat is like she's not having it, and I'm just like,
I know
what you need. What you need? You need tea?
Yeah. So I know she's not leaving the house at all.
Yeah.
So this is my last question. So what is worse for shoes? Is it the dry heat or is it the humidity?
Humidity, by far.
Humidity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because so UV light will fade your shoes, make the glue. But the thing that UV light does is it accelerates oxidation and hydrolysis. So like if you think about like oxidation, just exposure of your shoes to oxygen. So it happens faster when there's more like direct sunlight or light or heat, right? So that's why people say put your shoes in a dark closet,
right?
Right, or in your shoebox where it's covered. So, and then you think about if it's high humidity, then it's like heat, moisture, and oxygen. So it's all three. So it's like the worst kind of like. So that's why places like Singapore, Miami, probably like New York too, just because you're by the coast. So and probably LA, like any one of those coastal cities, you're probably going to get some of that moisture from being by the big large body of waters.
Yeah, I learned way early in the game, like displaying your shoe was a no-no, and I know it's like a huge thing now where you display your whole collection. But when I used to like really go into the malls and buy sneakers, I would notice that like the pairs would be like yellowed, or they would have them half off. And I was real cool with one of the store managers at Hibbett Sports. I'm like, why do y'all have your pairs like the display shoes? Why is it half off, or why is it a different color than like the pair that I just bought? And he was like, it's because they're displayed, and it that it's aging them faster, and that's what's changing the color of it. So pretty much you're getting not a worn shoe, but like a worn shoe. And that's what I realized. Okay, never display your shoe. And then we, fast forward to 2020, everybody's going viral for taking all his shoes out of the boxes and putting them up. And I tried it for like maybe 2 months, but every single time I walk into my sneaker room, I'm like, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I put them all back in the boxes.
Yeah, I seen like one of my boys, man. He had he had one of the shoes on display, and like you could tell like where the sun came in the room because like the shoe would be like faded right there, but then the other shoe, the other part of it would look like. It just happened over time. Like he didn't notice it until he took it out. He's like, "Why is my shoe?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude, that's just the sun coming in and just hitting it like right there." So yeah. So I mean, I think I don't know. Some of them have like the UV kind of filter on them, but I don't know how much that helps them. Yeah.
I know a couple years ago, I believe it was I think it was Google, that they were bringing out a box that you could put your shoe in. It had like UV light and it was like sanitation, and it was like oxygen, and it was like a whole little process. And I think they were retailing for like,
I think it was Samsung.
Yeah. Like $100 box. And I'm like, cool idea. But I think it was more than that, because I was like $150 for a box, and I'm already paying $150 for the shoe.
Right.
Not including resale or including Jordan 17 is retailing for $300. That's $450. Yeah. Sorry, Samsung.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and that's like one of the things like we try to do is try to knock off our pricing to make it more affordable for people. So we did recently launch a what's called our Capsule Club. So it's like a monthly. If you like want to get a lot of them, you could pay like a monthly, and we'll send you one, two, or four. But you can cancel it anytime. So you can literally like sign up day one and then cancel it or pause it, and we're still going to send it to you. And so it's more discounted than any other of the one-time options. So yeah, man, we try to bring that out because I think that when people actually get it, they're like, okay, I want to get one more of my shoes. So that's the long-term play.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
That is again something I didn't know just from like watching the Instagram or the reels or whatever. So like again these conversations are rewarding. They bring information that you may not be aware of. So yeah, that's dope. I'm glad you're doing something like that. I'm glad you're trying to save us a buck, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went to the site. I'm looking at the price. I'm like, okay, let's fit this in the budget. I'm like Morgan said, it's $660 times whatever the price of the product is. At least that's how you see it in the beginning, and then you kind of like, okay, well, I really don't need it for every single pair. Kind of just the pairs that are a little older, or the pairs that I want to preserve. Yeah,
if you get our what we call our OG collector, which is like the 4-pack, it's like $140, so it comes out to about $35 per shoe. So that's with one pod and one cartridge. So you actually get 5 cartridges. So you get like 10 to 15 fills, right? So you can so that's probably like the best bang for your buck. And then we have sales going on sometimes. But yeah, that's like if somebody was trying to like, hey, like I want to try to get the cheapest per unit price, right? Per unit. That's probably the way to go.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
I like it. So guys, Darren, we appreciate you hopping on, explaining your product, giving us a little details on the product and your background. It's very interesting to find out that you're, a lawyer. I think that's pretty dope. And you got a scholarship for playing ball. And I mean, like I said, these are the conversations that need to be had. Because just as a consumer and collecting sneakers, I'm not gonna say right now, but in the past few years, like everybody was coming out like, "Ooh, we got something for your sneakers, buy it," And I was a sucker for it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it, And then I start realizing, okay, wait a minute, slow down. Why should I buy this? Why am I buying this from you? What's the difference between this and what's the difference between your product and this person's product? So again, I enjoy these conversations because I'm not only buying the product, but I'm buying who's behind the scenes. I'm investing in them as well too. So if I feel like you're just capitalizing, probably not gonna buy your product.
I totally understand, man. I think people will see like we're here for the long term. We're not here for and we're really trying to build a brand and a product that people use for the next 30, 40 years.
I like it, man. I love that.
That nothing happens to me But yeah, that's what we're trying to do, man. And I just want to say thank you, honestly, to you two for having me on, man.
Of course.
I've watched like your content and everything, and I love what you guys are doing. You guys are two good dudes, man. And we definitely. I mean, you're in Indy and you're in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta when I'm out that way, man. I definitely, because my company headquarters is actually in North Carolina. So, if I'm ever out there, man, I'll definitely hit you up. We got to link up and something, grab a beer.
Yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm already planning to go out to Naptown to get this man a run for his money through this tennis match. We've been doing a little promo. We just had a official press conference over at the Sneaker History podcast. But yeah,
I didn't play
part of that.
I didn't play basketball. I played tennis growing up. So, and I'm a professional tennis coach now. So, I don't think he understands how little of a chance he has of getting anywhere close to not getting dog walked.
So look. I'm gonna say it here exclusively on the Soul Brothers podcast. I have a promo video coming together for the tennis match, and it's gonna be me practicing tennis. So be on the lookout for that.
You might have a better chance at pickleball, but like maybe not much. But like I played pickleball against my father-in-law, man, and he retired and he just took pickleball like to the extreme. Like he was playing like every day. And like I'm playing, I'm halfway, like you know what I'm saying. And then like, he just kind of chuckles and laughs. He's like, "Haha, Gary, stop!" And he just like hits the ball. And I'm just like, it's like bad.
yeah.
But that's a sport, man. That's like tennis and racquetball, man. It's a sport that, man, the hand-eye coordination, and that takes years to master, man. So
years to master.
And big up to you, Morgan, man. That's commendable.
Appreciate you.
It's gonna feel even better when I get my little point because I'm be like, yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm gonna be over there. Anything's possible.
Like you gotta do if you score, you just gotta walk off. Like I quit, man. I'm too good. You just gotta walk off.
I'm gonna hit the MJ stroke. Anything's possible.
Nah, if he walks off the court, I'm dragging him back on the court. You're getting dragged back on the court.
No, but I'm gonna be real with you. I'm definitely gonna give it my all. I wanted to train to fight. But I suck at losing. Like I really hate losing.
You're gonna get good at playing tennis.
So like I'm gonna give it my all, and I really feel like giving it your all in like a sport like fighting is just not it, because you could be getting hit and then it's like, bro, you need to stop, like fall down. I would be one of those people like still hitting and my eyes bleeding, and so I'm like. Yeah, it's probably not what I want to do, but this tennis thing, I'm willing to go home with some scrapes and bumps and whatever needs to be done.
Good,
is going to get done. So yeah,
man, it's all how you define losing, right? If losing is if you get out there, that's a win for me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God! Don't change the goal. Y'all out here changing the goalposts. Y'all changing the goalposts.
Look, hey, I'm like, I just showed up. Right. That's what matters. I showed up, and I'm going for every set. What is it called?
Every
match,
game.
every set match. Oh, every game.
Yeah,
okay.
Games make up sets. Games make sets. Sets makes matches.
How many are we? How many are we?
2 out of 3 sets.
Okay, so if you win 2 out, we quit, right? We done.
Yeah, if I win 2 sets, so it'll probably be 6 games per set. 12 games. Now, mind you, I've beaten some of my tennis players in 2 sets in about 20 minutes. These are high schoolers, so who play tennis.
We're getting off track here, but I'm gonna ask this last question. So, when was your last actual match, not high school or not training. Yeah, like you really like, okay, I'm playing to win.
Did you play
not
in college,
to train.
Morgan?
I didn't play in college, no. So I went to the Navy right after high school. And then I got out. I was actually coaching basketball, found a love for coaching. And then I asked my tennis coach if she needed help, and that turned into my full-time job. So, yeah. But the last time I play, every time I play against a player, I play for real.
Morgan, answer the question. When was the last time? There we go.
Last week of June.
Did you win?
No.
Darren, we appreciate you coming on the Soul Brothers podcast, man. We enjoyed speaking with you. We definitely got to do it again, man. Keep in touch. Anything you need from the Soul Brothers podcast, collectively or individually, just hit us up. Any closing remarks, guys?
Keep doing what you guys are doing, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, same to you. Let us know if you need any help with anything, or if you need whatever you need. Really appreciate having you on the pod and chopping it up about you, chopping it up about your product, and chopping it up about sneakers. So this was really enjoyable.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. And for the record, I am planning to give Morgan his second L. Guys, that is the episode for the week. We will see you next week. And as I always say, love, peace, and sneakers.
Soul Brothers. Yeah. Soul Brothers. Retro 7, Retro 3s, Metallic 7, Retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got soul.